determine the value of each expression below, we're going to need to draw a picture that will illustrate exactly where on a Cartesian plane it is that we're being asked to look. And then we can use that to determine more about the shape that we're being given information about. So, to start, the first problem, I'll label 1, we're asked to evaluate sine of arctangent, or tangent inverse, of 3/4. In each case, we're going to start with the inside to help us draw the picture. The inside of this function, or this expression, tells me that we're working with tangent, and that the sides opposite and adjacent have a ratio of 3:4. We want to think about tangent and a triangle, a right triangle, that have legs that are 3 and 4, which means the hypotenuse is going to be 5, but we don't know where this triangle is just yet. So for now, it's some mythical triangle with sides 3, 4, and 5. To understand where this triangle is, we have to think about what it means to use arctangent. Arctangent will output, or has a range of angles that go from -π/2 to π/2. So if arctangent is 3/4, it's a place where sine and cosine are both positive, which means that we're working in quadrant 1. So I'm going to draw a triangle that has sides of length 3, 4, and 5. And my angle is right there. Now I just have to say, well, what is sine of that angle? Sine of that angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So 3/5. We can apply this idea to any type of problem in this situation. So, 2, we're told to look at cosine of arccosine of -5/13. So we know we're looking at a triangle that has a side that's adjacent, -5, and hypotenuse of 13. So I'm looking at some kind of triangle that 5, 13, the other side must be 12. That's a Pythagorean triple, but I don't know where it is just yet. To determine where it is, I want to think about cosine, arccosine, which has a range from 0 to pi. If cosine will be negative, it must be in quadrant 2. So I draw my triangle with an adjacent side of 5, a hypotenuse of 13, and a height of 12. Now I want to know, in this triangle here, what is cosine of the angle that I'm asked for? Well, cosine of the angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. So to determine this, I look at my triangle, never finding out what the angle actually is, and I say, well, it's 5/13. Keep in mind that 5 is going backwards, so it's a -5. For the last problem, we have tangent of arccosine of -5/13. In our last triangle, we will put tangent of arccosine of -5/13. And at this point, I'm hoping that you're saying, wait a minute, I've seen -5/13 before. You know that that's our triangle that we just worked with, that 5, 12, 13. You know that when we were talking about cosine, it went from 0 to pi. That our triangle then would have to be here, just as it was before, 5, 13, 12, -5. So when I ask you for tangent, tangent should be opposite over adjacent. So tangent of arccosine of -5/13 must be 12/-5.